What is up, Midway Mayhem fans? This is Dan, and we are checking back in from Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. I know, it has been a very long time, well, at least for me, but the park invited us out for a hard hat construction tour of their new lion and hyena habitat, and there's a lot to see and do, and you know I have not been here, like I said, for a while, so of course we're going to check up on our pink chickens. Let's go!
Hi there, my name is Nick and I'm part of the creative development team at Busch Gardens Tampa, and I'm standing here on the site of Lion and Hyena Ridge, which is our all-new animal habitat that's coming to the park a little bit later this year. Lions and hyenas are some amazing predators that live out in Africa, and they form teams to compete for survival. They'll compete over food, over water, over land and territory, and they'll also even compete within their own species. So lions are constantly vying to rise up their social ladder within their pride. Same thing with hyenas competing within the clan. On top of that, lions and hyenas are also conflicting with people out in Africa, which is another lens of the conflict and competition story. So you'll be able to learn about some of the partners that are supported by the SeaWorld and Busch Gardens Conservation Fund that are helping to resolve human and wildlife conflicts out in Africa. As you wander through Lion and Hyena Ridge, you'll get to see the different aspects of this conflict and competition unfolding through our signage. You'll even see it presented as Team Lion or Team Hyena, and maybe learn which one of those teams you might be more like. And ultimately, we hope that when you leave here, you recognize that both of these teams are worth rooting for. So be sure to pay attention to our social media channels for the latest updates on when Lion and Hyena Ridge will open later this year.
Hard hat time.
Never done it before, so to them it was like super exciting. I feel like it's the Busch Gardens experience.
Meerkat area is getting some love.
Something that's right in a major whole house. No. Yeah. So welcome everybody to our Lion and Hyena Ridge project right here behind me. You can actually see all the construction that is taking place right now on our 35,000 square foot facility that is going to be the future home to our 5 male lions and our hyenas that are coming into the habitat. You can see that it's a very active job site right now behind me. And a few of the things that are going on right now is these folks building this new hyena den. It's going to be a very cool place for our hyenas to hang out and find a little place of comfort. And you can see down below there's actually a huge moat. All of this space is actually going to be accessible to our animals. If you actually recall our old lion and hyena habitats, these spaces were interchangeable. That will still be the case when we reopen this habitat. So this massive space, you're going to get a 270-degree view around all of the different sides, both lion and hyena habitat, where you'll be able to see down into the moats. You'll be able to see in through the front of the habitat. We've got many different viewing angles of these habitats. So we've got glass, we've got mesh viewing areas, we've got inside of that cave, which was a viewing area before, but a lot of this area is much larger and expanded from the time before. You'll see over in a few minutes, once we go on to the other side of the habitat, we've got some very awesome interactive features for our animals. We've got things like water features that are in the habitats. We've got play structures. Like I mentioned before, we've got these hyena dens that we're building. We've got heated and cooled rocks that are going to be in there for the animals. So those will be really neat. They're going to want to be able to hang out on those, especially in hot days or on cold days. We can switch that however we need to make the animals comfortable in their habitats. Some other really neat features are just that this space has more than doubled what it used to be. It's almost actually tripled what the size of the old habitat has been. And just being able to see these animals from all sides is going to be a very cool experience for all of our guests coming into the space. We've added 6 shade structures and viewing areas that were not here before. So being able to hang out in those areas all around the animals is going to be a great experience, as well as getting the awesome view of our veldt from this side was going to be really cool too. There's really not too many places, unless you just travel down this pathway behind us, that you can get this great view of the veldt, as well as right here up close and personal to the lions or the hyenas, depending on which animal is on this side that given day. Otherwise, as far as the construction goes, we're doing great. A lot of things happening behind us. The rock work is going well. We've got all the shade structures moving up. A lot of the enclosure is closing. So we're going to start finishing a lot of the concrete. You can see right here what we're standing on was just finished yesterday. So a lot of this is brand new. And we're going to keep taking this around. All of our utilities are in the ground already. So we are making strides on getting this open to you very soon. Does anyone have any specific questions that I could hopefully answer for you?
What have been some of the biggest challenges working on this project?
I would say biggest challenges on this project is just that it's an existing site. I mean, this original area was built in 1997, so having to go back and work on an existing site is always a challenge. You find a lot of unknowns. Fun fact, we found some old monorail foundations under the ground, which was very interesting to find, especially for some of us that weren't here when the monorail was around. So finding that was fun, just as well as many of the other aspects of underground utilities that nobody knew about, and just things that need maintenance and things like that. But that would be the biggest difficulty that we had on the job site.
What was the site used for before creating this new exhibit?
This was, I believe, all part of the veldt before.
Okay.
Before we built this, before 97, this was all part of the same area over here.
Obviously,
kind of extended that.
Obviously, you're making changes for the guest experience as well as the animal experience.
Absolutely.
What kind of changes are you doing for the zoological teams? Are they able to have more access, more control over what they observe? Like, tell me about how the zoological team is involved in this.
Yeah, absolutely. The zoological team is going to get a lot more access into the habitat. We're actually creating bridges, which is actually a fun fact too. Something that extra that you'll see as part of kind of our most immersive habitat that we've got here. We've got a pedestrian bridge that goes across one of the 2 habitats that all of our guests will be able to walk across straight through the habitat. So that's really neat, getting able to go directly through their habitat, as well as we've got a vehicle bridge that's going to be into this habitat to actually get access in and out of this habitat better than we've ever been able to have access to this habitat before. So we are making strides to make it better. We've got our holding areas that are going to be fixed up and cleaned up and made better as well. But access is going to be much better, and just everything's going to be refreshed and renewed.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry? This area? So yes, this actually all gets a roof over top of it. Eucalyptus poles, similar to a lot of the other theming that you'll see in the park. So this will all get a eucalyptus pole roof over top of it, as well as there'll be a mesh barrier here. And you'll see these same structures throughout as you walk around. We aren't going to pass through one area of the construction site, but you'll see those eventually. They're all very similar. Some have mesh, some just have glass. So it's different between each shade structure. Behind us, the rock work is going well. We've got all the shade structures moved out. It hasn't been under construction for that long, but it's been in the works. So I think we are going to, I don't know if I'm leading the charge here.
Giga confirmed. I wish. This whole area looks way different. It's awesome. Changes everywhere. Lots of markers all over the ground, likely for pathways. New support structures for the netting. Don't have the glass anymore. That's an awesome view of cheetah hunt.
Curator here at Busch Gardens Tampa. I am also the curator over this area, which we call Edge of Africa and Hyena Ridge. So very excited for all of you to come and see and check this out. As you can see, there's a lot of activity behind us. And this habitat, obviously you got to see the other side, but this habitat has different features compared to the other side. One thing to notice for sure behind us, as you can see the construction workers working on it, is this area here in the middle. This is a new pool that we're designing for both lions and hyenas, and it's going to have different elevated rock work and a waterfall in it. So hyenas do spend a lot of time in the water. They do like to swim and play and roll. So this is going to be pretty neat for our hyenas, especially Kazi, one of she's our female hyena. We have two, Kazi and Dazi. They're a breeding pair. So she does spend a lot of time in the water. So we're pretty excited to see what she'll do with this when she sees this and makes her way in. This feature that you're seeing right here, it's now open, but what is going to be installed is what we call a training area or a training wall. We did have one on our old habitat, but with the expansion of both sides of this area, we're going to have them in several different places. And this is an opportunity for our guests to get a little bit closer to the animals and see how we actually interact with them. We use all positive reinforcement training with our animals. So we don't force them to do anything that they don't want to do. Everything is choice-based for them. So we do really spend a lot of time building our relationship with them, getting to know them, and every day is going to be different for them. So one of these training walls right here is for us to show our guests different behaviors. A lot of them are for medical purposes, so we don't need to anesthetize an animal. Every time we may need to get a blood draw or look at a body part like a tail or their hip, or for lions maybe their ears or their mane area. So we can ask these animals to present different body parts and for our guests to see how we train them. So there will be training walls spread out underneath the shade structures. This area will be combined also with a double door system, so we can bring large equipment and bring in deadfall, large logs that the animals like to scratch and play on or lay on, different substrates. So we didn't have that before, so this is a unique opportunity for us to be able to adjust the habitats how they look. Obviously there are going to be more of the permanent structures, but if we want to bring out new enrichment for them, enrichment can be anything that provides mental or physical stimulation for the animals, maximizing on those natural behaviors that they show, like clawing or scratching, rolling. So it's an opportunity for them to get a chance to interact with their habitat in many different ways. Earlier Andrew mentioned about the heating and cooling rocks. If you look right over here to your left hand side where they're right underneath that shade structure, that's going to be the heating and cooling area. So in the summertime, if the animals don't feel like getting in the water but they want to cool down, that will be cool for them to lay on. And then in the wintertime, when it is in those colder months, they can lay on the heated rocks. So we do have that ability to change it for them. So you're going to see different rock structures as the construction workers are building them, those mesh formations. That's how they start to build, and they'll build on top of that. And then you'll see the different shade structures, and we'll have partial glass and partial of those training walls. So we are accredited through the Association for Zoos and Aquariums, and we work specifically with species survival plans for many different species. So working with our hyena SSP and our lion SSP, it's recommended that 5 male lions make their way here to Busch Gardens and call Busch Gardens home. So we're pretty excited. They are full brothers, all born from the same litter. So it is not rare completely to see a large group of males together, but especially in AZA facilities, there are different facilities that have maybe 3 or 4, but we're going to have 5. So pretty unique opportunity for us. As I mentioned earlier, Kazi and Dazi, the 2 hyenas, they're here on property already. They were actually out here when we had our previous habitats. So they are behind the scenes. We've been working a lot with them as well. My team is really excited to bring them over here, and they have an opportunity to get a chance to play with all the items out here, especially this pool area.
You mentioned like the pool works for lions and hyenas. Is everybody in together? Are you swapping out? How does this work?
So this habitat is multifunctional as well as the others. So we do swap them. So if you come back and visit, one day you might see lions out here, and the next day hyenas are going to be out here. So they're never together. In the wild, lions and hyenas compete together. They're not buddies. So they both are scavengers, so they will compete for prey. They might have to fight each other for that prey. So for these habitats, it's multifunctional, but we can move them to either side. But we try to create a lot of variability, so every day is going to be different for them.
As far as the guest areas, you have the shade structure over here. Is it going to extend over to this area for guests as well, or where is that line draw?
Yeah, so the guests are going to be able to come up to about this point. This area is going to be, hopefully we're going to offer a behind the scenes tour, so it's going to be a little bit more immersive for those guests, a little bit more private and intimate for them. So it will partially be, but for the rest of this part, it'll be for employees.
Okay, thank you.
So it's just not one person or just a small group of people. We try, and then expanding that, seeing what other zoos are doing, what other institutions.
Oh my gosh, it's pink chickens. I have not seen pink chickens in a very long time. Time now for a ride on Tigress, which I have not done since they got rid of the comfort collars. And there we go, no comfort collars. I love it. All right, and here's a look at the former site for Stanleyville Falls Flume. And now we just have work walls. So the flume is no more. And this is where the entrance used to be for the attraction. Now says preparing for future development, and I really hope so. I hope they get a big, nice attraction over here, considering Scorpion is also gone, so there's a giant plot of land. And, you know, I was thinking Catapult Falls over in San Antonio, that would be an excellent fit over here. Hopefully, we'll see. And here's a look at some of the events going on. Of course, we have Food, Wine, and Garden Festival going on through May 10th right now. We have Gloria in the Gardens, May 16th through the 17th. Summer Nights returns May 22nd through August 9th. We have Beer Fest July 24th through August 30th. Hallow Scream, yeah baby, September 4th through November 1st, select nights. And we have Spooktacular as well for the kiddos. And Christmas Town, November 14th through January 4th. Again, just look at the line of work walls that we have all the way down this way.
You can try. There's Chick-fil-A.
You know, I'd really like to ride Falcon's Fury today, but don't think that's going to be happening with the seats missing. No! This is definitely a weird feeling not seeing Scorpion. I do miss the Schwarzkopf coaster, but again, hopefully a new attraction will be coming to this area. This being the former location for the Flume, and over here for Scorpion. Again, you can get an idea of just how big of an area this is for an attraction. Well guys, that's going to do it for our video here from Busch Gardens Tampa Bay for the hard hat construction tour of the Lion and Hyena new habitat. And I gotta say, it looks really good. A lot of rock work going on. There's going to be pools and a lot of neat enrichment opportunities for the animals as well. Guests are going to be able to get right up close to them. They're going to have exclusive tours and VIP options as well. Of course, we're going to have more updates from here and from other places from around the world. So if you like what we do, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and the website formerly known as Twitter at Midway Mayhem. And I will see you out on the Midway.